introduction with my phone so that you guys can see my face before I now use my laptop to do the proper presentation, right? Good evening, everybody. Hope we had a good day. All right, so I'm just going to get started. Today I'll be talking about how to start your LinkedIn from 0 to 100 as a professional. My name is Muturayo Ajiboye. I'm a tech marketer. I currently work as a product marketing manager at Sterling Bank. I'm also the founder of Careers in Tech, a platform that provides resources to help professionals land their dream job. So basically, where people with LinkedIn optimization, CV, cover letter, motivational letter, statement of purpose, and all of that, right? I'm passionate about helping more non-technical talents get into tech in Africa. And yes, like I said, I'll be talking on how to take your profile. Basically, this class is going to be like what's it called? There's a bit of the theory part of it, and then there's a bit of the practical. I'm going to be using our profiles, right? The links that were shared with me just to show us how to like do it yourself, right? So it's not just I'm talking from what's it called from a design or from a book, basically. All right, let me just switch to my laptop. Thank you.
All right, guys. Motra is going to be joining back in a sec. She just had a device malfunction, but then she had to jump on her phone first, just so we could all see her face and then get familiarized before we then get into the class.
Sorry, I've been speaking since I don't know I was muted. Can you guys hear me? Please confirm that you can see my screen. All right, thank you. So, like I said, I'll be talking on how to take your LinkedIn from 0 or whatever it is right now to 100. I've done the introduction, so I'm just going to go ahead. So, why LinkedIn? One of the questions I get a lot from professionals is why LinkedIn? Why should I prioritize LinkedIn? Why should I use LinkedIn, right? And why is the optimization so important? LinkedIn is For me, I would say that as a professional, LinkedIn is one of those platforms that you don't want to joke with. It's actually very, very important, especially if you're one looking to build your personal brand, two looking for new job opportunities, three you're looking to like build your professional network and a lot of other things. So why do I need to be on LinkedIn as a professional? Whether you need LinkedIn or not, as a professional depends on your individual career goals, right? And circumstances. I mean, for the past, what's it called? For the past maybe 8 months or 9 months, I've not been active on LinkedIn. Is my profile optimized? Yes. Do I still get recruiters reach out to me? Yes. In fact, somebody reached out to me. A founder reached out to me yesterday. So my LinkedIn is as active as I want it to be. I might not necessarily be putting out posts and all of that, but it's still working for me. And that for me is my own goal, right? I want recruiters to always reach out to me. Let me compare offer. Am I job hunting? No. Am I looking for new opportunities at the moment? No. But I'm still going to take it. I'm still going to go for that interview, just know what's happening in the market. Right. So like I said, depends on your individual career goal or not. But first, let's talk about what you can do with LinkedIn as a professional, first of on the list will be you can expand your professional network. LinkedIn is a platform where professionals from different parts of the world and background connect. It allows you to connect with colleagues and other professionals in your field, right? So LinkedIn is that platform that allows you. I want to believe that LinkedIn is the only professional platform that allows you connect with professionals from different parts of the world. Normally, before the introduction of LinkedIn, right? What we normally do is go for events. If you want to network, you have to go out, you have to go for event, meet people in person, speak to them. But that is quite limiting because if I want to meet somebody in London today, I'm in Lagos, I cannot afford to go for an event in London because I just want to meet somebody. But LinkedIn affords you the opportunity to meet anybody, any country. I mean, I've met a lot of people, right? I've met people from UK, US, and all of that have reached out to LinkedIn to ask questions, especially when I was pivoting in my career. I was once a social media manager. And when I was transitioning, I had to reach out to a lot of people in product marketing. Product marketing wasn't really mainstream in Nigeria at the time. So I had to like reach out to people outside of Nigeria to like get their knowledge, directions, and all mentorship and all of that. That wouldn't have been possible without LinkedIn. I mean, it was just a click. It was just for me to connect with these people, send my requests, ask questions, and all of that. So with LinkedIn, you can expand your professionalness. Another thing I do with this networking thing is when I go for an event, maybe a physical event, and I meet somebody, I follow up on LinkedIn. I ask for their LinkedIn username and all of that. I follow them and then leverage the fact that I've seen this person before to build a relationship. Tell them about the event. If it's somebody that I'm looking up to in my industry, I tell them how good their what's it called, their session was, right? Another thing you can use LinkedIn for is showcasing your skills and experience. I love to call LinkedIn your digital resume. LinkedIn is like your digital portfolio that people from different parts of the world get to see what you've done for yourself over the years, your career, when it started. If you look at my CV today, it speaks to just product marketing. Because right now, I'm now a product marketing manager, and all the roles I'm looking for is product marketing. But if you see my LinkedIn basically tells you that I was once a social media manager. When I work with clients and they insist, oh, I want to build 4 pages of CV, I want to do this, and then I try to explain to them. All you just need to do is to put your LinkedIn profile URL on your CV, and that way even if you're not putting everything about your career on your CV, the recruiters can still see what you've done by just going to your LinkedIn profile. So I would love to see LinkedIn as your digital resume. With CV, you have to submit, or maybe somebody has to refer you and then they go through. But for LinkedIn, anybody comes to your profile and then see everything that you've done for yourself over the years. That is why it is very, very important to optimize it, especially when I'm also going to be trying to like speak in context to like sales because from my understanding, people here are like salespeople. I've gotten a lot of DMs from salespeople pushing their what's it called, their products and all of that. If your profile is not optimized as a person, I generally will not take you serious, especially people with no profile picture. Jeez. I'm not going to take you serious because I can see you as spam or maybe just another bot on LinkedIn. Another thing you can use LinkedIn for is learning and development. LinkedIn provides access to like a wealth of educational resources, articles, courses, webinars. With LinkedIn, you can join live stream, you can read articles that people put out. You can even take courses on LinkedIn. There's the LinkedIn learning. Yeah, you get to like take different kind of courses, but that is available on like the pro version. But yes, at some point I subscribe to it. I might not be talking about that, but at the end I will just tell you like a bit about it and why you should subscribe to like the premium version. Job opportunities. This is like the major importance of LinkedIn for a lot of people, right? If you look at the screenshot on my screen, you see people reaching out to me to ask me that am I open to new opportunities. This was Lara Peters April saying they have a marketing manager role that is vacant and she would love to discuss details with me. This is another person at Adishera reaching out to me on the 9th of last month. This is another person from Kingsmaker. Kingsmaker is like the group for beds and the likes. This is another person reaching out to me. So one of the major benefits for me as a person, my previous role before I joined Sterling, I got it from LinkedIn. It was one of the investors. This guy invest in that company, and then he knows that the company needed the storyteller, and then he reached out to me, referred me to the CEO. We had a conversation, it was just a call, and that was it. I got the job. But why that was easier and faster for me is because this person has seen my profile, he has seen what I've done. And at the time I was posting regularly. I was job hunting, right? So I was posting regularly. I was trying to build my personal brand at the time also. I was always putting out one post, I think once in 3 days and all of that, right? And then I got that job. So LinkedIn is one of like the best, and I would love to say easy way, because you're not actively, especially when you're not actively job hunting, it will also help you know what is happening in your industry, what the offer is like, and all of that. Personal branding, LinkedIn also gives you the opportunity to put yourself out there. Like I said, the previous role I got before Sterling, it was a storytelling role, and at the time I was being intentional about building my personal brand, let people see me, see what I can do, and all of that. I got so many of us at the time too, because one thing about actively putting out content on LinkedIn is that it's going to put you on top of the radar. Personally, I'm currently not job hunting, right? So people reach out to me maybe once in a week, twice a week. There are weeks that I get about 3 repeaters. But when you're actively posting, the way the LinkedIn algorithm works, when you're actively posting, more people get to see your profile. LinkedIn algorithm pushes it to more people, especially when people now engage with your content, right? So that way it's faster. That's why I advise most of my clients when they come and say, oh, they've been job hunting and all that. And I'm like, as much as I'm going to optimize your profile to put it out there and get more people to see you, it's not going to work very fast the way, what's it called? When you combine your personal branding, putting out content, and then the optimization, when you combine it, it gives you a faster result. I mean, I've had situation where I work on client profile and then almost the same day or the next day they get an offer. I could remember working with a software engineer, but I told him, I said, the major reason why yours happened like this is because this guy Result cake. He has worked in top international companies, so it was easier. So when he came to me to say, "Oh, he has been job hunting, blah blah blah," he ex LinkedIn help people, and I'm like, "You have a good profile, right? You have a good, he has a very good experience. This guy has worked at top company, Grammarly, Andela. Um, I can't really remember off the top of my head now, but when I saw that CV, I knew that this is a very impressive CV. And the only thing I needed to do with his profile was just to optimize it, put in keywords so that when they are searching for software engineers, it's going to be on top of the radar. I think that's like the only person I've worked with that got a job almost immediately. Like about 3 recruiters reached out to me like the next day, right? But back to what I was saying, if you want to make it faster, especially when you're job working, you have to combine personal branding and your optimization. You do not just optimize your profile and then leave it there. So let's go to the next thing. So these are some data to just um, back up what I've said and why LinkedIn is quite important for you as a professional. First off, this data is by the Social Shepherd. LinkedIn is currently the top professional platform with over 875 million from 200 countries and regions worldwide. 52 million people look for jobs through LinkedIn weekly. Over 58 million companies are on LinkedIn. Every minute, 8 people are hired on LinkedIn. At least every minute on LinkedIn, 8 people are hired. 72% of recruiters use LinkedIn when hiring new talent. So look at this. This is like, what's it called? This is like the major point for me. Because if you look at that data, 72% of recruiters use LinkedIn when hiring. That's to say that if you are looking for a job, the user or the company you want to work with, they're on LinkedIn. The recruiter you're trying to reach out to is on LinkedIn. You can reach out to them yourself, right? And then the last point says that 67% of these recruiters say that professionals hired through LinkedIn are of higher quality. That means that more of these recruiters will keep on using LinkedIn because they've seen that the people they hire through their platform are more qualified or are better at their job than people they hired through other platforms. I don't know how true is that, but if this data is saying that, that means that there would be a rise in recruiters hiring through LinkedIn. And another thing to note is that the LinkedIn we use it's not what most, I mean, there are small startups that their recruiters, hiring managers still use the regular LinkedIn to search for people. But there's a different LinkedIn for recruiters. I know that a lot of people do not know that this regular LinkedIn that we all use is not what recruiters use when they are trying to like hire people via the platform because their own version of LinkedIn has a lot of tools that this version of LinkedIn that we use do not have. There was a day I tried it, and one thing I noticed is that with their own version of LinkedIn, if they search for names, I mean, maybe they're searching for digital market and then they see about 50 names pop up. If that person doesn't reply to messages, they will see it. LinkedIn will be telling this recruiter that candidate A does not reply to messages, or it takes about 2 months to reply to messages. It takes about 1 month to reply. A lot of people do not know that. This is another point for you to take note of. As much as you know, LinkedIn wants engagement. They want people that are active on their platform. They want to. I feel like they are doing that just to reduce um inactivity on their platform. So even if you're active or not, you don't post on it. One thing I do every single day is go to LinkedIn and read my DMs and try to sort them out and try to like of course I'm not doing that religiously. There are days that it takes 2, 3 days, but I don't want a situation where LinkedIn is telling you it already that this person takes a week to respond. Nobody will see that and still want to DM you, especially when they're hiring for that role very or urgently. Maybe that role needs to be filled up very fast. Once they see that you take 7 days to reply or 2 weeks and all of that, they just move to the next person. So the first thing to get you started on LinkedIn is setting up your profile. Yes, I know that almost everybody have a what's it called? Everybody have a LinkedIn profile and all of that, right? But if you want to get the best of LinkedIn, you have to make sure that your profile is optimized. That is where using um a high quality professional headshot, maybe not necessarily professional headshot for your profile picture, maybe not, it's not compulsory, right? But at least make sure that the picture you're using is high quality and it fits into a professional set. Because I've seen a lot of people using selfie. As much as it might not be a big deal, it might be a deal breaker for some people. For instance, Sterling, our human resources department, that is a big red flag for them because they're looking for people who dresses smart, look nice, and all of that for their department. I mean, for marketing, they really don't care whether you're using selfie or not. But you'll be surprised that another company might be very big on what's it called, brand identity of the person, the image of the person for marketing department. As long as Sterling doesn't care for marketing, they don't care for operations, they care for the recruitment team. they look out for that. If they want to hire somebody for the recruitment team is telling, and you don't have a good profile picture on LinkedIn, they'll pass. So this is a major deal that a lot of people don't pay attention to. And another thing is that if your profile picture is empty, it reduces how often your profile shows in the SEO. LinkedIn says that profile with profile with pictures shows 7 times more than the one without pictures. So you'll be surprised that this little as profile picture can affect your visibility on LinkedIn. And then there's the headline part of it. Craft a compelling headline that reflects your professional identity. So this is where you tell people what you do. And this is another major part of LinkedIn that people don't pay attention to. So you say that, for instance, I'm a product marketing manager. On my profile on LinkedIn, you're going to see, I'm going to like use your profile to like show you all of this when we start reviewing. So you might, it's not really necessary you get this part. But what I'm trying to say is that for your headline, for example, I'm a product marketing manager, and then people come to my profile. I can decide not to use that keyword, right? And say I'm a tech marketer, right? Or I should just say that um, I'm a marketer that loves products. I'm a marketer that builds go-to-market strategies. I'm a marketer that is passionate about creating awareness, revenue, and all of that for product. I could do all of that. I still tell people what I do. But what you don't know is that when recruiters come to LinkedIn to search for people, they don't come with what is on your profile. They don't know what you've written there, right? So they come with their own keywords. In my field, there are two major titles that I know that people use in searching for product marketing managers. So it's either they're using product marketing managers or product marketing specialists. If you go to my profile, what you will see there are those two keywords. That's why you see that a lot of recruiters reach out to me, because I've optimized my LinkedIn profile with keywords strategically so that when people are searching for product marketing managers in Nigeria, they get to see me. If you are trying to build your personal brand, you are not looking for job, what you just want to do is build your personal brand and then build your professional network, you might really not care about it. But if you are trying to get better job opportunities, so you are currently job hunting, then you need to care about the head, and that's like a major part of your keyword on LinkedIn. And then the contact information section, a lot of people don't like, I mean, some, I will not say a lot, some recruiters don't like sending you a DM, waiting for you to respond and all of that before they can reach out. So some of them will just send you an email directly. Or I got an email from a very big company the other day, I think 2 weeks ago. They sent me an email directly, and that's because my email is on my profile. Some of them I don't want to go through that DM, ask for your email and all of that. So as much as possible, make it easy for them. When they come, let them say whatever it is they need. My phone number is there, my email address is there. There's also a new feature right beside the contact info that allows you to add your portfolio or website. So you will see this is on the picture, you see contact info, and then you see custom button. So this custom button will allow you add a link that will appear at the top of your profile. Maybe you're a designer or even a salesperson, you have a portfolio, a website, whatever it is, right? And you want people to see it, you can just put that on your profile, and then you customize it. You can say my portfolio, you can say visit my website, you can say read up more on me, you can say read my articles. Just customize it to whatever it is you want it to be. So there's another important section, that is the summary, where you write a detailed, I mean, I think. So your LinkedIn about section. I don't know why I missed that image. It should be here. The summary section. I will show you that when I'm using your profile, but it should be here. I'm sorry I missed that out. For your summary, you write a detailed summary that highlights your experience, your skills, your achievements and your career aspiration. Are you looking for new opportunities? You can write it there. Are you looking to collaborate? You can put it there. Are you looking to work as a freelancer? Basically, your summary is just to tell people it can be as fun as possible. You don't have to make it all professional, right? You can talk about the things you do outside of work. It's just to help people get to know you better, basically. And this is another session that you can just input your keywords, right? So what I do with this for my clients is, as much as I want to talk about them, their personality outside of work, I make sure that I infuse a bit of keywords into it. So for a product marketing manager, what are the skills that people are looking out for in you, or what are like the most important skills that a product marketing manager should have or a salesperson should have? Maybe as a salesperson, you need to know how to negotiate. You need to what's it called now? You need to know how to manage people management, stakeholders man. I will just try and make sure that that summary section I infuse these keywords. I could talk about 5 years of stakeholder management or something. I just make sure that I infuse those keywords into it so that when people come and they say, I'm looking for a salesperson with negotiation skills, I'm looking for a salesperson with stakeholder management, right? Once they come to your profile and once they go to LinkedIn and then they search and then use those keywords, your profile will come up because you have strategically put it in almost every aspect of your LinkedIn, and then the algorithm picks that. Your experience, this is where you talk about your work experience, clear description of what you've done, your responsibility, your accomplishments. And then there's the skills and endorsement part of it. This experience is also very important. Let me just touch on that before I move to the next thing, because that is your digital resume. This is where a lot of people will just put their role and their title and then leave it like that, right? As much as that is good, it is not good enough for, again, most of these recruiters don't want to have to ask you questions. They don't want to go through all that stress. They just want to see what you've been able to do. So maybe where you've worked, you led a campaign and maybe you were able to increase revenue by 50%. Put it there. If there's a partnership you worked on, put it there. Let them know that you were the one who handled this. You have been able to do this and this over the course of year. Just don't put your sales manager or marketing manager title and then put your company and then leave it at that. Be able to like at least 2 3 bullet points on what you've been able to achieve in your roles and your responsibility. What is your core responsibility in that role? What do you do in that role? You should be able to put that under the experience section. And then there's also skills and endorsements. This is where you add relevant skills and then seek endorsement from colleagues and connections. So another thing, as much as this is like this screenshot is showing my skills. I have 40 skills listed, over 40 skills. Okay, 40 skills listed on my profile. LinkedIn allows you list up to 50 skills on your profile. So both your hard and soft skills, it's necessary that you put all of that on it. You also need to get people to endorse. That is very simple, by the way. People just come to your profile, go to your skill section, and then endorse it. That means that they are endorsing that you genuinely have that skill, right? Even if you don't genuinely have it, people, I mean, of course, it's not everybody there will genuinely have those skills, but it's important to make sure that you get it endorsed, because just listing out your skills on your profile will just be you listing it out there. LinkedIn algorithm will not pick that until it is endorsed. That doesn't mean that people will not be able to reach out to you. It just means that your profile will be more visible to a lot more people. Say, for instance, without the skills being endorsed, and you have that same skill on your tagline, which is the headline, you have it in your experience section, you have it in your about section. So when people search for it, they are going to definitely see your profile. But you might not be top 10, you might not be top 20. In fact, you might not be top 30. So that just means that as much as you can, every opportunity you can use to make sure that everywhere keywords can be optimized. You make sure that it is optimized, and then it just helps you to be at the top of the radar. It can take you from maybe number 50 to like number 10 or 15 on the list when people are searching for people in your roles or in Nigeria, basically. As much as you can get people to endorse you, it's actually very easy. As long as the person is connected to you, you're connected to the person. That person is your connection on LinkedIn. They can endorse your skills. Get recommendations. Recommendations are not compulsory. It's just to build social proof. It's just people vouching for you. In a way, some people might actually count it. There are some people who might not count it, right? Before I got my recommendations on LinkedIn, I have recruiters reaching out to me. So that means that they don't see it as a big deal. But you might be surprised that some people might see it as a big deal. So as much if you can get your friends, your colleagues, people that you've worked with together on projects, your line manager and all of that to just recommend you. And then another important part of LinkedIn that a lot of people don't really look at is the featured section, where you use it to highlight your best work and achievements. Maybe you worked on a project and there's an article about it, or there are pictures about it. You can put up a content on LinkedIn, talk about it, and don't just put it there and leave it at that. It's just like pinning a post on Instagram. If you know how pinning a post on Instagram works, that is how this works. So that means that even if you have put this content out maybe 2 years ago and it's still relevant, when I come to your profile, it's still one of the top content that I'm going to see. I got an award last year for the product marketer of the year. And I can tell you that as much as what's it called, I've put out other content after that, this is quite important to me. It's still going to be on my profile for a long time. There's another one I have on my profile. I think you can feature up to 10 posts on LinkedIn, right? So there was a project I worked on when I was at Stella. That was about 3 years ago. It was a big project for me. It's on my featured post. So when you come, you're able to tell that, okay, this person has gotten an award. This person was part of the people who worked on this big project and all of that. So that is why the featured session is just a feature that is quite important. It's not as if it's going to affect your optimization. So another thing you also want to pay attention to is the creator mode on LinkedIn. This gives you access to additional features like LinkedIn Live, newsletter, audio events, follow link. So what this follow link means is that when your creator mode is on LinkedIn and then you put out a content, if I'm not following you and I see your content on my page, there's going to be a follow button that is going to show up on your content. So it's easier for me to just click follow. I don't need to open your profile. I don't need to visit your profile to have to follow you. So without the creator mode, that means that you're limiting people who can follow you, because some people are quite lazy. I'll just read your content and just scroll. But okay, maybe your content makes sense to me. It's easy for me to just to click on the follow button because it's showing on the top of that content. But without it, it's not going to show. You can also share newsletter, you can join audio events, join LinkedIn Live with your creator mode. Without it, you cannot do all of these things. There's also the connections, connecting with people in your industry. So I've had people just set up their profile and then just leave it at that. People will not find you. LinkedIn is not like, what's it called? LinkedIn is not like Instagram or TikTok that I'll be seeing your post on my For You page or all of that. Especially if you're not actively putting out content. Make sure that you are intentionally connecting with professionals in your industry. Make sure that you're intentionally connecting with your influencers, colleagues, and all of that. Because the more people you follow, they connect back to you. LinkedIn is going to show your profile to more people, to people in their own connection list. Say, for instance, I follow Titi Lokwe on LinkedIn. All the people connected to Titi Lokwe will be seeing my content one time or the other. That is how LinkedIn algorithm works. So you have to make sure that you're intentionally connecting with people. And then the ordinary connection even makes you top of mind to people. Just sending a connection with maybe a message talking about their works or how you admire them and all of that makes you top of mind. You just know that they are aware of you. I mean, sorry, not top of mind necessarily, but it helps you build awareness. You just make that person aware of you, right? It might not necessarily mean that connecting with a lot of people where prepared to a job and all that. It does do sometime, but it's not. I'm not going to recommend that as another means to help you get a job. But like I said, it just helps you. It helps your profile become more visible to a lot of people. And then there's the groups part of LinkedIn. Joining LinkedIn groups related to your industry and participate in discussions. I have a lot of groups that I'm on LinkedIn. There's content marketing. These are some of the groups: storytelling, social media marketing, business of, and all of the different groups, right? And then people put out content articles on these pages. I drop comments, respond to comments, and all of that. That way, look at the first group on the list, 137,214 members. So that means that if I'm dropping a comment, I'm putting out a post in that group, at least 30% or 10%, let's just say 10%, 13,000 people will see this. I don't have 13,000 connections on LinkedIn. So that means that if I'm just putting it on my profile alone, I will not get the visibility. I will not get a lot of visibility as much as I will get when I put it on the group. And for groups, it also help you build rapport, right? Before you now finally reach out to them, it just makes people aware of you before you now reach out. It's like what they will say on Twitter, that you build rapport on like the feed, respond to their comments and all of that before you now send a DM. It works like that so on LinkedIn. Update your education section. I think this is also important. Add your license and certification. Let people know that you've taken a new certifications. Let people know that you have certifications in whatever industry. They don't just take your certifications and leave it on your CV. As much as it is important on your CV, it's also important on your LinkedIn. Put them there. Let people know. If you volunteered at one role or the other, put it on your LinkedIn. Let people know that you're a volunteer or you volunteered at so and so. This is all just to build your social pro. So I think this is everything about LinkedIn optimization. This is everything you need to know about optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So I'm now going to go to like the practical part of it and then show you all of these things that I've mentioned, show you how it is going to be on your profile. So I think I'll just stop sharing and start with the links.
All right. Thank you so much, Muchayo. A few people had their hands up during the
Oh,
session.
sorry.
Would you
I,
like to
I was
take
presenting.
questions?
Yeah, so I
No,
would
it's
like to
okay.
take questions. Yes, please. Please
All
go
right. I
ahead
think
if you have this question.
Olamide had his hands up for a while. Are you still on the call? Hi, Olamide. Are you still on the call? If not, Praise can go. Watch out. Hi, Praise. Please, can you hear me? Hello. Okay, pending the time Olamide and Praise back to ask their questions, we can just like proceed with the links.
Okay, so I don't know if you can access the link at your end too, so that I can, what's it called? You can tell me the one I can start with so that I can then share my screen so that you can see.
Oh, okay, makes sense. Olumide Ogumili, are you on the call today? Can we open your link? Because we'll just be touching on people that are currently on the call. So, okay. If Olumide is not on the call, Ogolua, are you on the call? Can we proceed with yours?
Hi, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. We can open Ogolua. Motrayo.
Okay. Can you guys see Ogolua profile? Is
Yes,
it
it's up.
showing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So from what I can see here, Ogolua is a salesperson, right? So this is your tagline where you wrote B2B sales, technical account management, partnership, client operations, account executive, right? So for salesperson, I don't know the keywords. I mean, I've not done my research for a client on sales or technical salesperson to know like the major keywords that they use. But I know that to, off the top of my, please correct me if I'm wrong. Off the top of my head, I know that what they use is sales executive, sales manager, technical account manager, partnership manager. So the issue here is as much as you've used keywords, if your profile will come up, but it will not come up as like the top 10, top 20 because you are not using the exact keywords recruiters are searching for. So if I come to LinkedIn as a recruiter to say I'm looking for an account person, an account manager, I will use it word for word. Technical account manager. So technical account management should be technical account manager. So for instance, my profile, instead of me to say product marketing management, which is what I do, or somebody who is a product manager, instead of the person saying product management, it's best to say product manager. That is the title of your role, and that is what recruiters are using to search for a product manager. So for your account, you might want to pay attention to what recruiters are searching for keywords. So the way to do that is to come to jobs. I'm just going to show you an example here. Come to jobs on LinkedIn, then search for sales executive job. What's happening on this? Why is it not loading? So you can see that for sales manager, you can tell that the major keywords they are using here is sales manager, sales manager, sales manager. So a lot of salesman. So there are different kind of salesman. You can see cross-border sales manager, channel sales manager, whatever sales. But sales manager is the major keyword here. Commercial sales manager, you can still see sales manager there. You can see sales and marketing manager. Sales manager is still in that keywords. Marketing and sales manager at House of Tara, you can see sales manager in the keyword. So it just tells you that sales manager, technical sales manager, partnership sales manager. So when these people are putting out, they did not put partnership, they did not put sales management, they use the exact keyword. So for you to, as a professional, you have to use the exact keyword they are using because it helps your visibility. It could take you, I don't know what it's going to show because I'm not using LinkedIn Recruiter at the moment. I don't even have access to that because they pay for it. So with LinkedIn Recruiter, they can come and search for sales manager in Nigeria, and then your name might come up because you have some of, I can see that from your what's it called? From your profile, there's like some of the keywords there. But it might be like 78 on the list of 100. But with the right keyword, with the exact keyword, you'll be surprised that you could go from 78 to like 12 or 10 on the list. And it's easier that way because I advise people to make sure that they can as much as they can, they should get the first 10, first 20 slots, because at the end of the day, these people are human like you. They cannot start going through hundreds of profile in a day. Some of them get tired. So as much as you can, make sure that you're fighting for the first top 20. So let's go back to your profile. So this, I just showed you a way to like know the keywords they are using in your industry. Let me please Ogoluwa, your surname again. Let me just say, okay, I've seen it. Let's view your photo. Okay, this makes sense. You already have like your key skills here. I love how you're able to also put your skills in the about section. This was what I was mentioning about having your skills in your about section. This looks good. You might also want to maybe expand the write up, make it more comprehensive. Not necessarily a lot. You can just talk about what you do outside of work, just so that people can find you more exciting. This may so this was what I was talking about, people putting out what they do. From your experience, I can tell what you're doing at Flutterwave. I can tell what you've been able to do. This first point speaks to what you achieved when you got there, which makes sense to me. So the experience section looks really nice. You also added your skills. Mm, For me, your profile is like a 9/10. It looks really good. All you just need to do is work on your taglines. That's all. So let's go to the next person. We sure that if you have, I cannot, your featured section is not here. Like I said, it's not really compulsory. But if you have something major that you've worked on, I think you can just add that on your featured section. So what other Titi, what other person are we working with? Do you want to
All right. So the next person would be, just hold on one sec. You don't know, are you on the call? Are you set?
Yes, good evening. I'm here.
All right, fantastic. So let's take Idono. She's number 6. I already marked it green. And after Idono, Barakat, are you on the call?
Yes, I'm on call.
Fantastic. After Idono, Barakat, who's next? And Motori, have you found it? Okay. I have just
there's
clicked on it.
favor. There's favor.
So Idono is number 6. I have highlighted
Yeah.
the line. Yeah.
So I can
Here.
just click on that or
You can just click on the link. Yes. Ogami, good evening, Ojari. Sorry. TSP has a session. Oh,
so this profile also looks really, really nice. I think it's just the tagline too. It's just the tagline that like need sales engineer. Let's see. Are they using that keywords in Let me go to job. Okay, yes, a lot of people are using sales engineer. So that makes sense. Let me go back to the profile. Thumbnail. All right, can you guys like see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right.
Yes,
So
we can.
I said this profile looks really good. For me, it's like a 9/10, so 9.5 even. It looks really good. Business development should have like a manager at the end because I know that for this role, it's always business development manager. Then there's sales engineer, which I just confirmed that is a keyword that they use. So that makes sense. She has her featured session. She has what she does on her experience section. So yeah, this looks really good. I think the only thing missing here, which is not compulsory by the way, is recommendation. You can get people to write out a recommendation for you. So what's the next person?
So for Idono section, Idono's page, before we go to Barakat, I have a
Okay.
question though. As
Yeah, yeah, good.
a as a sales leader, right?
Mm.
If anybody from my HR to my recruitment team shows me a profile, and then the first thing I go to look at is you. Especially if you're okay, I think the first one should be, you don't know, are you an entry level or a mid level? Mid level.
I am
Great.
mid-level, yes.
Fantastic. So this question is for Mutunrayo. So if I go to the page and then I want to see that, okay, if I hire this person, the chances of them stressing me is very low. The chances of me having to spend so much time, if I've been honest, a lot of Nigerian companies usually don't have the bandwidth to wait to train you for so long, unlike foreign companies. So the first thing you're looking at, as a lead is how much time do I need to invest in this person before they catch up? Now, seeing that she has two different kind of interests, from your standpoint, do you feel like it might lead to bias, or it might? What's like your professional advice?
You have a point there. Like I said, I cannot speak for companies, right? I can't speak for people. It differs from company to company, it differs from
Mm.
people to people, right? So from my own perspective, I don't see anything wrong here because I've gone through our experience session and it speaks to what I want to see, right? But again, the audio engineering thing, right? You can I want to believe that you can be a man of many talents, right? But one thing I always tell my clients is that as much as you can limit it to just two, and you can see from the profile that she limited it to just two. From her profile, you can tell she's a salesperson, she's a music person, right? Which for me is not a big deal. It just shows that outside of sales, she has other things going on for her. But then
Mm.
again, you have a point because some company might be against. It was until I got to Sterling Bank that I knew that profile picture could be a determinant if they want to reach out to you or not. If you had asked me before, I might have said, oh, just make sure you have a profile picture that's looking okay, that's okay. Until I got to Sterling, that I knew that if your profile picture is not, what's it called? It's not looking professional enough for their standard, they will not reach out to you because they assume that that is your image as a person. So another company might come and say, no, this person interest is diversified, so I might not want to work with them because their interest is that there are some people that will tell you that and we don't want somebody that has multiple things going on for them. They just need somebody. They believe that if you're doing just one thing, then you're probably more focused than the other person that is doing multiple things, right? So to some extent, you do have a point. And why I'm not against this because LinkedIn, you cannot create multiple profiles, especially if this is something you want to pursue at the end of the day. If it's not an hobby, if you look at her profile, you could see that it's not just an hobby. It looks like something she wants to pursue for a long time. So I'm not going to say take it away, right? It just means that there will be people with bias, and that means that you don't mind the bias. Some people will be biased and see that and say, "Oh, I don't want to work with this person," which is totally fine. But from a professional standpoint, I don't see any big deal. She's not all over the place. I mean, I've seen clients that are doing like 5 things that we now have to tone it down to two. So yeah,
Mm.
that would be my work on that.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Idono has a question. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dara, for bringing that up. I actually wanted to bring that up
Thank you.
also. Yes, to clarify, I am a technical salesperson in the audio engineering industry. So it might seem like tech sales and audio engineering are two different industries, but I'm still a technical salesperson selling technology. It's just not in the
Oh, that makes
traditional tech
sense.
industry.
I see. I see.
Yes, so that's why it might look a bit confusing. And because audio engineering is music related, that's why that's my profile. But if that's going to cause an issue, I will definitely look into try to streamline it because
I think
I'm trying to.
Although she
your
didn't say it would,
tagline.
though. She didn't say it would. She was just sharing like a vast opinion, just in case of other people that might be on the call that might need that. So she didn't say it's an issue for you, right?
So you might also want to put that on your tagline, right? So it could be sales engineer in the what's it called? What did you just call it now? Audio
Engineering.
engineering. Yeah, so you can put that as long as the keyword, which is sales engineer, is there, it still works for you. You get so you might want to put that instead of putting it separate. Because if I'm seeing your profile, I'm going to see it as you're doing sales engineering separately, you're doing audio engineering separately, right? You might want to put it together, take out the audio engineering music and then put sales engineering in. You just that. Let me put a clause to that. There's some people that will see that and assume that you don't have experience in their field, so they don't want to hire you. Do you understand? Some people might see that and say, oh, we need somebody who has experience in FMCG. We need somebody who has experience in selling SaaS products. We need somebody who has experience in banking. You get that just means that you putting that means that some people might put out your profile because oh you do not have experience in their field. I don't know if you get that. Can anyone hear me? Please confirm.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
All right.
yes, I do understand. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. So what's the let me look at the next person on the list. I think the next person is Barakat, right? Please confirm, Titi, that the next person is. um,
Hello, Mochana, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I was asking who the next person is.
Oh, I didn't know I was muted. Sorry. So yes, it's Barakat. It's Barakat. Hi, Barakat. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right.
Fantastic. So it's Barakat next. Then Favor, please get ready. Are you still on the call? Hi, Favor. Please say hi if you're still on the call, or raise your hand if you're still on the call. Okay, fantastic. So Favor is up next after Barakat.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So for Barakat, your data, I mean your tagline looks nice. It's okay to me. For your about section, you might want to add your skills, right? So on LinkedIn, if you look at the about section and there's an option for adding your skills separately, if you look at the previous profiles, you can see underneath the about section that they have about 5 skills because LinkedIn allows you add up to 5 skills on your about section. So I think you should do that. It also gives you like an edge. It allows you put your keywords. So these are keywords that you know that people are looking out for in a data analyst. As a data analyst, what are the top 5 skills you should have? List it out under your about section. So your experience, you also want to discuss it in what's it called in detail. Talk about what you did in this role as an information technology support specialist. What are you doing? What have you done? What are your achievements over the years? What does your responsibility in the roles look like? So you might talk about 2 of your responsibility and 2 of your achievements, or even 1 achievement and 3 of your responsibilities. Okay. I think you might want to add more skills. I'm seeing just 14 skills. You might want to add more skills to this space. Do your research and look at the top skills. So another thing you want to do that can help you is to um, come to LinkedIn, right? Search for data analyst, because you do not just want to put out, you want to put out skills that people are actually looking out for. So this is a data analyst role at 7 up. So let's look for the skills, right, that they're looking for here. So you can see that they need people that is proficient in tools like Excel, SQL, Python. Please add this. You can add this to your skill. But let's look at other openings to see if these are also skills that they're looking out for. So from this one, I can see I can see data visualization, I can see dashboard, I can see stakeholder management, I can see they need somebody that can analyze data sets. Then there's the Excel SQL. You can write it out. Look at the major skills, write it down in a note or something, and then come to another one. Let's open it. So you can see there's another one here, interpretation of data, which also means analyzing data. So that means that this week we can see data analysis twice. Generating reports was not in the previous one. You might want to write it down also. For the skills, so you can also see Excel. We saw it in the previous row. Data visualization, we saw it in the previous row. So one thing I now do is once I write them down, and then I now write data visualization, I put times 2. That means I've seen it in 2 openings. So let's go to another one. This is data analyst Akuda. Let's see what. Now, this is more of a marketing data analyst than it is for like the major. Let's go for normal. So you can see data analysis is showing here, data interpretation is showing here. So we can see that this data analysis has shown 3 times, data visualization 3 times, data interpretation 2 times. So let's go to another one. So this is like my process for my clients. I go to about 10 or in fact sometimes 15, especially if they're not popular roles, and then look at it. So if there are skills that are showing up to 5 times, 6 times, sometimes 10 times, I make sure that they are everywhere in my profile. I look out for areas that can impute them in their profile. There's data cleaning here. There's dashboard. We saw it in that first one. That's about 2 times now. There's these two, the same thing. There's Python. We can see it again. That's like twice. So just make sure that these tools, as a data analyst, the tools that you're able to use is quite important. So when you come to your skill session, it's not just your soft and hard skills. You have to make sure that you put the tools that you're proficient at on it. For a designer, if I'm working on a designer profile, make sure that I always add the Adobe and all of the popular Figma and all of the popular tools on the profile, because these are what they're looking at, but they need somebody who is proficient with designing with Figma. So now let's go back to your profile. Search again. When are you coming back?
Are we still on Barakat's
Yes,
picture?
yes, yeah. I'm trying to come back to so those skills that we've done our research on, you can put them underneath this place, and then your skill session, add them to this place. Let's see your skill session. Okay. There's Microsoft Excel. You can put the Power BI, the SQL, and all of that, data analysis. Make sure that you have your skills. Your skills should be up to 2025 at least. Put your soft skills there, communication, stakeholder management. Because as a data analyst, you still have to be able to analyze your data clearly, speak to stakeholders so that they can understand your data to be able to make informed decision. Right. So you put all of this in your skills. I think that's like all you need. Your, like I mentioned earlier, your recommendation is not quite important, but if you want to, you can. It sort of just help you build your social proof. There's no featured content, so you might want to also do that. You also, I'll give your profile like a 6/10. There's like the need for skills. There's a need for your visual content. There's a need for detailing what you do in your role, your current role. And then there's the need for recommendation, which is not very important, by the way. So who's the next person on the list? The next person on the list is Favor. Hello, can you hear me?
Sorry, yes. The next person on the call is next person is Favor. After Favor, Olamide, please, if you're on the call, please raise your hand so I know. Fantastic. So Favor now, Olamide next.
I'm coming. Let me just that's it one. The shares one. All right. So okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Favor is here to pull up.
Yes.
Okay. Let me know when she's on the call.
As in, I mean, Favor. We are yet to see Favor's profile on your screen, but she's on the call here, so we can see it now.
Okay. All right. There's a lot of work to be done here. I'm looking at. So let's start with your cover photo. As much as you can, always put up a cover photo. It doesn't need to be maybe your picture. It could be just a design from Canva, right? That speaks to what you do. Your profile picture. This is a selfie. If you can, please get a professional picture. Your tagline. So I used to tell people that with your tagline, don't put the name of the company that you're working at. Just put your role. Let them come down to your experience session to see whatever company you're working at. Don't I don't know, except maybe it is your company or you want to intentionally become a brand ambassador to the person. Because it just shows some people that okay, maybe this person is super loyal to the company, they don't want to leave anytime soon and all of that. This is like what is saying, what people can see from it, or what some recruiters will see from that and what they will take from it. So if you can, just leave your executive assistant. And then I also know that for executive assistants, another major tagline that people use in searching for people in this way is personal assistant. So make sure that you also add it. Do not just leave it at executive assistant. Add personal assistant to it also, because I've worked with a lot of executive assistants. I've noticed that, especially when it comes to personal assistant, they are very, very important. So make sure that you also add it. Do not just leave it at executive assistant. Add personal assistant to it also, because I've worked with a lot of executive assistants. I've noticed that, especially when it comes to personal assistant, they are very, very important. So make sure that you also add it. Do not just leave it at executive assistant. Add personal assistant to it also, because In fact, some companies don't even use executive, they will use personal assistants. As much as the executive assistant is like more common and more used, there's still companies that are using personal assistants. So you don't want to lose out on those companies because they're not searching for executive assistants. Your about session should be more detailed and comprehensive. Speak to what you do. I love that you spoke about the tools that you are proficient with. This makes sense. But your top skills, you can add more. It should be up to 5. If you have a featured session if you have a content that you think can feature on your featured session, you should put it. Okay, so I love that what you do is quite detailed. This professional makeup artist thingy, I don't know if it is your business or somebody's business, right? I think you can make it fit into the role you do currently, right? You're an executive assistant. One thing I tell my clients is that you are the architect of your career. I've seen somebody work in a company and the title of that role is customer happiness manager. And then the person left it there, customer. How many companies are using that tagline? How many companies are using that title?
Customer happiness manager.
So we have to sit down and then look at, okay, what does this person do actually in that role? What they do is customer support, customer experience. These are like the popular tagline, right? Customer happiness is not as much as it does make sense. You can tell from the name that what this person does is to make sure that the customer are satisfied, they're happy, and all of that with their services or products. But that is limiting because a lot of companies do not use that role, that title. So you need to now sit down and now do your own research. In my field, what are like the major popular what's it called now? Title that they are using is now customer support, customer experience manager, and all that. Then you now use that instead of using, especially if you're no longer working at the company. Nobody would you because it's still the same thing you did. You did not lie, right? So if there's some things you did in this makeup artist role that could serve as personal assistant or executive assistant, you can now put that and then change your title to fit into what you're trying to build your brand or what you want to be known for. All right, okay. So all right, okay. I think these are like the only thing we need to add. Your background photo, your profile picture, change your tagline, add more skills, make your about session more comprehensive. If you have a content that you could feature on your official session, do that. Your um recommendation is not compulsory by the way, but if you can get it, it helps you build your social proof. Yeah, so who's the next person on the list? So the next
That's
person is
Olamide.
okay. Is Olamide on the call?
Yes, he is. Hi, Olamide.
Yes, yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good
Okay.
evening. Okay, so um the background photo, please work on that. Mechanical engineer, that's what they use.
We
Makes
can see
sense.
Olamide's profile on your screen.
Ah, sorry, please let me know. Share. I'm always forgetting to share the tab. All right, so can you see it now? Confirm that you can.
Yes.
All right, so the background photo, please put up a background photo. Since you're a mechanical engineer, you would want to put maybe a session where a picture that speaks to when you were working on a project, or maybe at work or something that speaks to engineering itself, right?
Okay.
So you can pick a design on Canva, but for roles like this, when I work with clients on roles, I always prefer to put up their picture working on a project. For
Okay.
architects, I get pictures of them maybe inspecting a building or trying to design and all of that, right? You can put
Okay.
that
That's
on it. Your skill session, I mean your about session, I think you want to speak more. You want to be more comprehensive. This is just like 3 lines. This is not speaking to what you do as a mechanical engineer. So I think you should talk about it. There are some projects that you worked on. So it doesn't, when I mean project, it doesn't necessarily mean it should be popular project that a lot of people can know from just reading it. They don't need to know. They don't need to know the name of the company or something. But if you've worked on projects, I think you should talk about your project, talk about the role that you played in on that project. Then your top skills,
okay.
make sure it's up 5. It's just one I can see here. So look at your what's it called? Your current role. It says design and model an office complex. That office complex, the name, put it here, put it in your about section, talk about it, talk about the office complex, what you did while working on that
Okay.
project, talk about this is not, I don't, you might want to take this down, this teaching assistant, except maybe you want to optimize your profile for academic. If you're not optimized, and when I mean academic, I mean people that are pursuing masters, PhD, and all of that. Because
Okay.
sometimes some of these program officers, admission officers come to your profile to look at it. So if you are optimizing for academic, you can like leave it. But if you are not, if you are just optimizing for mechanical engineering, I think you should take this teaching assistant out.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, this looks good. I'll give it like a 6/10 because of what's it called? The tagline. No, not tagline. The background photo, the about your about section is actually very important. Your skills section, these skills under about section, please work on it. I think that will be all for you. Yeah, that will be all. Please, who's the next person on the
Thank
list?
you.
Oh gosh, sorry. So yeah, on the list we're done. A lot of people there are not in session today. But in the chat box, we have 2 LinkedIn profiles that we can check out before call it a night. We can
Okay.
start with Chinaza. Chinaza, please, if you're on the call, please raise your hand.
Okay, somebody said my name is on the list. Prosper Okoye. Let me look
Oh,
at it.
really? It's not captured at my end. I can please drop it in the chat
No,
box.
it's
It's not
not. It's not
captured.
on the list.
Yeah, I don't think Google Form captured it. If your name is on the list and you're here, please let me know because I can't find it here. All right, let's go with Prosper first.
Mm.
Uh,
What role is Prosper optimizing for? Prosper, what do you do currently?
Supply chain.
Okay, so you're a procurement officer.
Yes, procurement specialist officer.
or
So
you used a different name. I've seen you.
okay, so what's it called? So procurement officer, then you can now have procurement specialist, then supply chain. So I think you should take out the business administration and business development.
Okay.
If you're not optimizing for that, yeah, you should take it out. Work on your background picture. Let me look at. Mm. So you don't need to talk about your degree, yeah. I love how you're able to talk about what you do outside of work. So this experienced procurement officer with a degree focused on, you might want to take that out and then talk about what you've done as a
Okay.
procurement officer, what you do in your role as a procurement officer, right? Your top skills make sense. So I think you can just work on your about session a bit more. You have your featured session. Your CV is your featured section. Why?
Oh, I did forget that was a feature. That was an old CV actually. So
So I think you
um,
should take it down, please.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, please take it down.
okay,
So for your supply chain, what you do currently, you have to like put it out, right? Like detail what you do. The way you detailed what you do as a procurement officer, detail what you
okay,
do, at least two, three things you do in your role as a supply chain trainee. Okay. Mm. Let's look at your skills. Okay. There's procurement, there's sourcing, there's negotiation. So I think you should put more. There's project management, vendor onboarding. Because I've worked with a lot of supply
yeah,
chain clients. So from top of my, I know that there's always vendor onboarding. You source for vendors for the
yes,
companies too. I don't know if you do that, but if you do,
yeah,
you should add. It's also one of like the key things you do. So look out for your the major skills you like use in your day-to-day roles and then put it there, because I know that the last time I did the research for a procurement person, most of the skills that we saw, the major ones was part of those vendor onboarding. People want to make sure that you can onboard vendor on your own. So
yeah.
please, you can fix your skills session. Mm, so I think that will be all. The only thing that is not yet is recommend. Why is it that nobody's paying attention to recommendation? It's not a big deal, by the way. It's not a deal breaker. It's not super important. But if you can, just make sure you have it. So I love that you have a lot of. I really like that you have a lot of. You're doing a lot of storytelling with your page. You're talking about the project. So all of this important project that you've done, you can put it on your featured chest. It should be what should be here instead of the CV. So just take
Okay,
the CV down and put all of this is actually very, very good. I love that you're using storytelling to tell people what you've done so far. So please, and you also have images. This is quite attractive. So please put it, feature them on this section, this featured section.
okay.
Make your evaluation more comprehensive. Detail what you do in your current role. Work on your
Background photo.
yeah. So for another thing I also want to say is that for your background photo, you don't necessarily, let me show you my profile. You don't
Okay,
necessarily need to design something, right?
okay,
Just pick a design that speaks to what you do. So if you come to my program, I'm a product marketing person, you can see product marketing, product adoption and launch, sales, pre and post, marketing, growth and comms. These are most of the touch points in product marketing. So I just use it. So you can use something similar. And
okay,
this goes for everybody. If you don't want to have to design from scratch, you can just go to Google. What I do is just go to Google, search for product marketing, and then you go to the image section, look at the image that you think will fit for this place, and then pick it. So let's go back to if you can see my profile, you can see that in the this analysis is like the past 7 days, right?
yeah,
I don't post on my LinkedIn this year. I've not posted at all, right? But you can still see because I've optimized my profile enough. This week alone, the past 7 days, I've gotten 66 sessions. That means that what this means is that 66 times people have searched for what I do and they've seen my name. 227 profile views means that 227 people viewed my profile. Maybe from they saw my name somewhere, they came and view it or something. This is these people, these recruiters can come and view my profile multiple times. So as much as profile views is important, I always tell people to pay attention to this search appearance. This is what tells you how well your
account is doing, especially if you're not, for somebody that is not posting, 66 is actually very high. If I'm posting, I can get up to 200, 150 in a week. And that's because I'm putting out content. People are seeing my content, right? That way, when that's I said, putting out content to make you more visible. But again, I'm not actively searching for jobs, so there's no point. Except maybe I want to focus more on my personal brand. If I want to focus more on my personal, I can now start putting out content, which I'm still going to do by the way, but I don't have the time for that now. So yeah, let's go to the next person.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hmm. So these two people, you need to work on your who's the
We're not
next
seeing their
person?
profile.
Yes,
Chinaza.
who should like work with? Shinaza.
Chinaza.
Shinaza, you need to work on your profile URL. You have to customize this your URL. It's going to limit your visibility. If you look at Prosper's
We can't
link,
see Chinaza's profile
I
yet
am
on your
not, you
screen.
will not see it even if I open it. I'm talking about what is
Okay.
in the chat session, what they put in this. So if you look at Prosper link in the chat, you see that he speaks to his name. The end is customized to his name. So instead of having all of this number, this UTM source and all of that, again, it limits visibility. It's like SEO. This URL is like your LinkedIn SEO, if you know how SEO works. So please, let your profile end as Shinaza Elendu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry about that. But it should end at this. Some people might have, you can have people with multiple people using the same name. So you might just want to put maybe like a number at the end, maybe like 1 or 2, just to differentiate your profile from the other people using the same name as yours or bearing the same name as yours. So let me go to your profile. Hmm. So there's a lot happening on the tagline. Hi, Shinaza. Do you want, okay, let me just look at your experience and see what you're doing. So currently you're an insurance advisor. Hmm. So what you just in your description is speaking to sales. So mostly you do sales, just that the title is different. Meet with clients for insurance product sales, offer specialized financial guidance, and so it's still sales. I don't know if Shinaza can hear me.
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
All right, so you do sales, right? But there's a
Yes, yes.
lot of things happening on your tagline. This can be like a, what's the word? Maybe not necessarily red flag, but there's like a lot of things happening. Retirement planner, annuity. I think focus on what you do, right? If you ask me if I'm supposed to optimize your profile, what am I going to focus on? Sales manager, financial advisor, executive sales. Sales manager is still the same thing as executive sales. So I think what you want to change that to can be like sales executive. So if I want to, this is me speaking from the standpoint of me optimizing your profile. What I'm going to leave here with financial advisor, sales manager, executive, sales executive. So those are like the 3 tagline you need. And then you using custodian logo as your program photo. I don't know. If you want to be a brand ambassador for the company, that makes sense. But I would advise that you have your own personal touch to it. It should be yours. You should speak to what you do, not your company.
Okay.
Your about session, there's a lot of work to be done. A lot actually. Your top skills too, there's a lot of work to be done. You should fix it to fit into the roles that you're optimizing for. If you're optimizing for sales manager or salesperson, your top skills should be speaking to that, right? Um, mm. So I want to know, what do you want to be your profile now? What do you want to be known? So that I'm not just picking for you. What do you want?
For
Because your
me,
services is also confusing. You have a lot of things about finance stuff here. So please go ahead.
yeah, mainly for for sales in finance industry, mainly life insurance that I'm working in, and which I look towards doing long term as well. So it's mainly life insurance that I want to
Okay,
optimize for.
okay, that makes sense. You can still keep the tagline. I think your services can take out like, so you already have a lot of finance stuff here, right? So you can just maybe leave your
Yes,
financial
yes.
analysis, life insurance, retirement planning, and just take out maybe the research, budgeting, business consulting, and leave the major things that you want to
Okay.
optimize for. So that is not, because once you have a lot of things like the people just see it as, oh, it's everywhere. It's not specialized, right? I think you
Okay.
should do that. Also make your what's it called? Make it more comprehensive. This is just like you listing out your responsibility. You meet with clients for insurance products. So what does that result into for the company? It helps them increase sales. How many percent have you increased sales so far? So I think you should talk about all of this. Not necessarily like a lot. It's not a about session, so it's not composite that is a lot of stuff. In fact, making it a lot might even be overwhelming for people that want to read. But make sure that you're not just listing what you're doing. At the end of the day, people don't want to see quantity, they want to see quality. And what that means is that they want to see the value of what you're doing. Meet your client for insurance products, he's just telling me what you do. I can't see the value from that. So you have to tell me the end goal of what you do. What does it turn into? What does it turn into in form of value for the company that you work with? Hmm. I don't know. I worked across different industry. You might want to take out this administrative office and leave just the product manager, and then also talk about what you did in that role as a product manager, as a project manager. Okay, I think that would be all. But there's a lot of work to be done on your profile. Please, I think you should please work on it. A bar session needs to be worked on your services, your skills, your background photo, your taglines. If you want to add featured content, if you have any content that you think you want to put up there, you can also do that. Let me go to the last person. So the same thing I spoke about regarding the URL also applies to this person. Kingsley, please work on your LinkedIn URL. Pick out the numbers and the necessary there's UTM source, whatever link at the end. So let me show you how to do that, right? Let me go to my I'm not logged. I cannot do that. I cannot do that for your profile. I'm not logged into your profile. So let me just show you how you can. Let me go to my own profile. Just so that you know how you can edit your URL for yourself. So you go to your profile, come to click this icon. So you go to edit contact info. So this is it. This is your profile URL. This speaks to my name. You can change it. You just click on this. And then it take you outside. Can you still see my okay? Let me share my tab instead. Can you still see my profile?
Yes, we can.
So
Yeah.
then you
Yes.
see edit your custom URL. So I click on this edit my custom URL and then I change it. So this is where you will change it. So now all you just need to do is delete all those unnecessary number and write up at the end of your name and then you save. That's all you need to do. So let me go back to um so the next person is Kingsley, right? All right. So if you're putting SaaS sales, it should be SaaS sales manager, strategic partnership manager, because these are what people are searching. Again, keywords are quite very, very important with LinkedIn. So it should be SaaS sales manager. Your tagline looks okay. You just need to add the manager part of it. Strategic partnership manager or strategic partnership executive. Hmm. The about session, there should be more, it should be more detailed. You should speak to what you do as a partnership or sales management, and then you also add your skills. Add the skills, your top skills as a partnership manager or sales manager. You need to talk about what you do as a managing partner. Okay, I think you're already doing. You can talk more on this. You can also talk more on this. Sales executive. You need to talk about what you did in this role. This makes sense. The way you did this bento role, that you talked about what you did and the achievements, you can replicate the same for your other roles. So, okay, this is the only person that has recommendation out of all the profile. This makes sense. It looks good. So I think what you just need to fix here is detailing what you do in each role. You can use your CV. If you have an optimized CV, just copy. What I do is I just copy from my client's CV. So just copy about 3-4 things you did and then put it there. So you don't have to start thinking again. Just copy from your CV. Work on your about session, make it more detailed. Use your highlight top 5 skills. The same thing with your tagline. I think that's like the only thing with your profile. And then your URL, please don't forget to change it so that your profile comes up more when people are searching for people in sales and partnerships. All right, so I think that will be all. Do we have any other person on the call?
Yes, Praise. She's back online. Hi,
Okay.
Praise. Please raise your hands if you can hear me loud and clear. And I think Praise is the last person for tonight, and then we can wrap it up. Yeah, she's online. It's in the chat box.
Yeah, I can see that. So technical sales representative actively seeking intent. I think this should be your about session, not on your tagline. You can put the title of the roles that you're looking for. Sales associate should be here, not this. This can be in your about session. That is where you can now talk about, or you're actively looking for roles and all of that. Okay, so your about session is a lot. You know what I'm saying is a lot. I can see that you're saying I'm interested in full-time or contract jobs in cloud engineering, sales, and IT. If I see this, I'm just going to close the profile and move to the next person. And that's because I want to assume that you cannot do these 3 roles extremely well. Right? You can actually. Right? There are people who are very good at doing multiple stuff. But because me, I will be selfish. Recruiters too will be selfish because they want the best of the best. So if they are seeing this, it just tells them that, oh, this person is all over the place. They will not be very good at what they're doing, right? So they just let it go. So please let your about session speak to maybe one thing. Look at the one that is most important to you and then speak to it. Your services. So there's a lot of work to be done on your profile because even your services is speaking to different things. There's content strategy, there's public speaking, there's technical writing, there's education consulting, and then you have cloud engineering on your about session. There's IT again. So I think you should take your time and decide on what you want to be known for. I do a lot of things. Today I can do social media management perfectly. I do that for my business. I can do storytelling perfectly. I can do product management. I do product marketing perfectly. But you will not see me talk about all of that on my profile because, again, it's going to be confusing for people. They will see you as being all over the place, not being good at what you do. So I just decided to settle with which is more important to me right now is product marketing, which is why my profile is speaking to just product marketing. If you read my about section, it talks about how I've done storytelling and all of that. You can talk about that and say you've worked in so you've done this. It just shows that you have experience across board, but it should be tailored to one single role at the end, or two at most. So sales, okay. So for this place, what you did here is like a summary of yourself, not what you do in this role. I am a sales professional who specializes in connect. You are talking about yourself. This should be in your about session, not your experience. So your experience session should speak to what you do in your role as a sales associate at Onboard QA. Right? Let us speak to what you've done, your achievements so far, what you do in your role. Know your skills speaks to the diverse. I don't know. I cannot speak for you, Praise. So because from your skills, I can even tell that you have multiple skills across board. There's there's bash scripting, cloud computing. This speaks to IT more than it speaks to sales. I think you should also pay attention to your skill section, and then based on what you decide to do with your profile, based on what you want to optimize for, you can now focus on that to now build on every other aspect. What you want to build on with this, what you want to be known for, what you want to optimize for, will determine what you have in your skill session. Okay, I think that will be all. So your skills, your experience section, your services, your about section, your tagline, and then okay, yeah, that'll be all. Do we have any other person?
Thank you very much, ma.
You're welcome.
No, we are done for the night. We're done for the night. Thank you so much, Moturayo. This has been super intense. Thank you so much, everybody that contributed and have been very active. We're super excited, that we're able to do this, and it went exactly the way that we wanted it to go. I think we've come to the end of the session. If you want recording to the session, please join the Slack channel. Thank you so much again, Moturayo. If you want to connect with Moturayo, I also added a LinkedIn channel, a LinkedIn profiles to the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night rest.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Moturayo. Despite your exhausting day.
All right, have a great night.